Hello, Kingdom people. I'm your Kingdom Spiritual Transformational and Life Purpose Life Coach and Mentor Latricia Booker here with Kingdom Business. Where we are empowered. Where we hear, we get delivered, and we get free. We know who we are. We elevate our minds and our spirits and raise and expand our consciousness to ultimately walk in our true divine purpose and power. And that is the truth of who God has created us to be. Kingdom people, we are history makers. We are world changers. We are dream successors. We are wealth generators. We are manifestors. We are curse breakers. And kingdom people, we most definitely are transformers, more than meets the eye. Yeah, kingdom people, we are. Kingdom people, thank you all so very much for viewing my videos. Thank you for all the likes, subscribe, shares, comments, and all of your feedback, all of your encouragement, your emails. Thank you for all the financial contributions to my channel, for all the seeds you sow into me and my ministry. Thank you for all of you who have purchased from merch from my product store. Thank you, Kingdom people, for all the bookings and for everything that you do here on Kingdom Business. Kingdom people, it is such an honor to be here and to serve you. Thank you all, Kingdom people. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kingdom people. So, Kingdom people, I am on location, and you already know what I'm here to do. And if you don't know, then now you know. I am here to drop this beat, this word, this message. Yeah. So, Kingdom people, I am the chain breaker, and you are chain breakers too, Kingdom people. Are y'all ready to break these chains? Let's go. Check it. Check it. So, Kingdom people, they try to cut you in roles higher. God gave me this last night. He was just talking to me about they was trying to cut you. It was like they was trying to cut you. Then I heard him say, but you just came up higher. You just rose higher. He was showing me how they try to cut you, but you just come up. Every time they try to cut you, you come up. Now, here's the thing, Kingdom people. Cut can mean anything. Because if you think about it, cut is, if you cut somebody or something good enough, what happens? They can actually bleed and bleed out if the cut is deep enough. So, Kingdom people, they was trying to cut you. They was trying to cause you harm. Again, that can mean block, stop, hurt, break, whatever. Make you feel a certain kind of way. They keep coming up to me. Whatever they're doing to keep you from moving forward into the purpose of God. Whatever someone was trying to do to hurt you, harm you, hinder you. God is saying they was trying to cut you. He said, but you just kept rising higher. And he brought to my attention this. Excuse me, hiccup my nose, as always. It's tickling. Tickle. Kingdom people, God brought this to my attention this morning. And as he was finishing giving me this message. Because he first brought it to my attention last night. Then he started talking to me about this morning. He brought me to superheroes. I love superhero movies. I really do, Kingdom people. Anybody that know me, know I think I'm a superhero. Because I know something about myself that I want to almost say the only me and God knows. So listen. Superhero movies, and I'm not talking about the theatrics and all the parts that don't have anything to do with what I'm speaking of, but this is the point that I'm making. Superhero movies tend to depict power, a supernatural power that the superheroes have. And I'm just hearing many of you can relate to this. You might not talk about it, but you can relate to it. Sometimes you got to keep some things to yourself. But anyway, many of you can identify with superheroes in certain superhero movies or depictions or whatever it may be. And here's the thing. That inner strength, that supernatural power that's within them, we can relate to it because that's what we have in us, kingdom people. And God is our super to our natural. In other words, just like in superhero movies, they have a superior that they answer to, so to speak. That power comes from somewhere. And for us, it's the same thing. It's metaphorically speaking in the depictions of superheroes, but for us, what it is God in us. And it gives us superpowers, if you will. Just using this as an example to state how we can relate to superheroes and those kind of things, those kind of movies, those kind of depictions. Now, God was talking to me about this morning, bringing all that to my attention. And he was showing me how just like the superheroes do, like when they be doing stuff to take them out, and you know how everybody always trying to kill the superhero. They always trying to take them out, the bad guys, that is. They always trying to take them out, just like the ones do with us, kingdom people. They trying to cut us. But we rise higher, just like the superheroes. Now think about this. In those depictions, movies, whatever it is, TV shows, because they have series out with these kind of depictions as well. In these instances, even if the superhero is injured, think about it, kingdom people. They may have to have a minute to rest, to recover, to recuperate. They may have been injured. But what happens, kingdom people? They rise. They don't stay down. Not only do they rise, but if you really tune in and pay attention, they rise higher. They come out with more power. So God has said that they tried to cut you. And every time they try to cut you, you just rise higher with more power. The cut actually contributes to you rising higher with more power. I've said this before. The more you exercise your muscles, the more stronger you get. The more they try to cut you, they try to take you out, the stronger you get. Because listen, you have to have something to practice on. You have to have something coming against you for you to utilize your superpowers, your strength, your muscles, your your spiritual muscles, so to speak. I'm hearing your kingdom muscles. Your Jesus muscles. Come on now, somebody. So they tried to cut you, kingdom people, but you just rise higher. Every time they try to cut you, yeah, sometimes you might go through a little something, especially earlier on, or should I say mid on. And the reason why I say mid on is because in the beginning, when you're trying to figure things out and you kind of just not there yet, that's when they try to keep you from knowing who you are. For instance, we've heard people say, ever since you was a child, you know, they were trying to tear you down or do whatever, keep you from rising up, because the enemy knew who you were as a child. So when you experienced that as a child, and even growing up into your early adult life, you were experiencing these things, and sometimes people were doing things to us, and they might did affect us somehow. However, what happens is, kingdom people, we continue to rise. It didn't stop us. It didn't shut us down. We may have had to work through some feelings, some issues, but we never stopped. We keep pushing forward. You know why? Because it's that superpower that's in you. It's that Jesus power. It's that kingdom power that's in you that makes you just keep going. I'm hearing, greater is he that is within me than he that is in the world. So that thing, that God in you is greater than what they're trying to do. They're trying to cut you, but you just keep rising higher, kingdom people. And so what happens is, kingdom people, you go on with your life and you start becoming in tune and tap more in to who you are and what you are. And then God and this is the mid part of it. This is where you are mid part. In the earlier part of your life, you know, you may have been a little way down somewhat, but you still kept moving. You still kept moving. Mid part, now you're becoming into more knowledge and understanding of who you are and what you're here to do, and you start tapping into that. So they might still be trying to do stuff, you know, to shut it down or whatever, and it gets a little more intense. And this is the place where they really start cutting you. But every time they cut you, you just rise higher. Every time they come at you, you rise higher. You know why, kingdom people? Because you're more tapped in and tuned in to who you are. You're more tuned in and tapped into your superpowers. You're more tuned in and tapped into your kingdom, Jesus powers, kingdom people. Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. So what happens, kingdom people, is you move on, you go on, and then you come to this place where you're sure now, and you done seen this thing happening and operating, and now you know you can't be stopped. Not that you ever thought you could, but you just know what you know. God is showing you, telling you you done had enough experiences to know so. And not just that you made up your mind. Not that you hadn't before, but after the experiences that you have had, people trying to do you like, hold on, wait a minute. Because this is the thing, kingdom people. Them ones that be trying to stop you, block you, break you, all that, they just don't even understand. That is just motivation and encouragement for you to push forward. So every time they cut you, you just rise higher, kingdom people. Okay? I'm just hearing again, them your superhero powers. Superhero powers, Jesus powers, kingdom powers, God powers. Causes you to rise higher. They can cut you, but they can't take you out, kingdom people. All you're going to do is rise higher. Again, you might have to rest. You might have to process some stuff. You might have to get a little understanding. But again, in your mid part, you have a good understanding of, okay, this is what comes with the territory. And as I come more and more into the knowledge of who I am and tap into that, align with that, if you will, align with your purpose, they gonna really still be trying to take you out because they don't want you to go into that. Now, I'm hearing that this was on me this morning too. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Our warfare are not carnal, but are mighty through the pulling down of strongholds. Kingdom people, these people operate from a carnal place. They're very carnal. I don't care if they in the church, they got a position. The fact that they operating and working with the dark arts, operating in the spirit of witchcraft, trying to tamper with your destiny, with your purpose, your God-given destiny and purpose, is an indication they operate in the dark arts. That is carnal. Now, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but spiritual wickednesses in high places and all that stuff. That's them, the spiritual wickednesses in high places, using the carnal person to try to come at you, to attack you. But they're operating from a carnal place. The spiritual wickednesses in high places works through them. So anyway, just had to point that out, because that just came to me and it was on me this morning. Again, kingdom people, you tapped into who you are. So every time they cut you, you just rise higher. All your life, every time they cut you, you just rise higher, whether you knew it or not. That's why you where you are now. That's why the attacks have gotten more intense, kingdom people, because you just keep rising higher. You're in tune to who you are. And if you're not, you are, if you know what I mean. If you here and you here for the good and the right intentions, not just stalking, trying to see, I don't want to talk about all that. But if you're here for the right intentions, you're really about your Father's business, you're really about kingdom business, trying to get your life right, on point, being ministered to for God's divine purpose for your life and for his will in your life, for him to do and lead you as he see fit, you are already in tune to who you are. You just getting more understanding, more and more and more and more understanding. You at the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. You on the right path. Let me just encourage you and confirm that for you. Anyhow, kingdom people, every time that they try to cut you, you just rise higher. Now check this out, kingdom people. Listen, God gave this to me. He gave this to me some time ago. He was talking to me about this. But then he dropped it on me again this morning when he was giving me this message. Matthew 16 and 13 through, we're going to go to verse 19. And it says, when Jesus came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, who do people say that the Son of Man is? Well, they replied, some say John the Baptist. Some say Elijah, and others say Jeremiah or one of the other prophets. Then he asked them, but who do you say I am? Simon Peter answered, you are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. Jesus replied, you are blessed, Simon, son of John, because my Father in heaven has revealed this to you. You did not learn this from any human being. Now I say to you that you are Peter. Peter means rock. And upon this rock I will build my church, and all the powers of hell will not conquer it. Some versions say, I know the King James Version said, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven. So here we go, kingdom people. What has happened is this. Listen. Jesus said, who they say I am? Ask Peter that. Peter say, or was it John? John the Baptist. Yes, John the Baptist. No. It was Peter, right? Wait a minute, I just read it and I didn't. He asked his disciples. Peter answered. I'm tripping. He said, who do people say I am? They said, oh, him, John the Baptist, Elijah, whatever. Listen, first I'm going to say this. That's a reference to the fact that reincarnation do occur. Just for them to be saying, oh, this is Elijah, this John. They were basically saying they came back. They were reincarnated. I ain't trying to go into that. That might be too much for many of you. I just felt led to point that out. What I'm really getting to here is this. He went on and said, who do you think I am? Talking to Peter. Peter said, oh, you are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. Jesus went on to say, you are blessed, Simon, son of John. He said, because my Father in heaven has revealed this to you. You did not learn this from any human being. So what Jesus was saying is that this was only revealed to you by God the Father in heaven. That's the only way you could have known that. You could not have known that from any human being. That's a supernatural. That's a supernatural transaction. That's a supernatural thing that's happening for Peter to be aware of who Jesus was. God the Father revealed that to him. That's how he knew. Now, it goes on to say, now I say to you that you are Peter, which means rock, and upon this rock I will build my church. Now listen to this, kingdom people. Okay, Peter does mean rock, but for us, we are like Peter because we know who Jesus Christ is. We have received Jesus Christ. And how do we know who he is? We know who he is because God the Father revealed him to us. Period. You know, I've heard many things of how people don't believe Jesus because of how it happened and all this. They just don't believe. And I always had this thing. I'm like, I know because it's in my heart. I just know. And what God has taught me is that he revealed that to me. And so what happens here is because God revealed that to you and you received it, you received Jesus, you know who he is, kingdom people, that's your super to your natural right there. Once you receive Jesus in that way for real, because God, I should say, revealed that this is the Messiah, the Son of God, and you have taken that on. You've chosen to embody the Christ. And it says here, or embody who he is, or take on for real who he is, because when you take him on for real for who he is, next you begin to embody him as you begin to, walk in discipleship, be his disciple, and follow and learn of his teachings and follow them. You begin to embody the Christ. So it says here, now I say to you that you are Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church. Then it says, and all the powers of hell will not conquer it. AKA, and the what is it? Hell should not prevail against it. I know that. I don't know why I just lost it. But the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. That's what the King James Version says. And then it says, and I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Now let me break this down right quick, kingdom people. Because you have received Jesus, because you have tapped in to who he is and received him, he is now that supernatural being within you. So when these people come and try to cut you, you only rise higher. Here's why. Because upon you, kingdom people, Jesus built his church. Upon you. You are the church. You the walking church. Wherever you go, the church is. The church that Jesus built. He built the church upon you because you have received Jesus. You have revelatory knowledge and understanding that Jesus is the Messiah. That Jesus is who he is. You have received that. You have, I just heard, interpret that. And not just interpret that, I'm here, internalize that. You have internalized that. You literally receive him, which is why you embody the Jesus. That is what Jesus built his church upon. You are Jesus' rock. Now, we know that Jesus is our rock. But because Jesus is our rock, kingdom people, because you received him as Jesus Christ, because you know that he is the Messiah, because God himself has shown you that, has given you that, and you've received it, he now builds his church upon you. You are the rock that Jesus builds his church upon. And it says, the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Here it says, and all the powers of hell will not conquer it. So, kingdom people, you can't be conquered. The gates of hell cannot prevail against you. So I don't care how much the spiritual wickednesses in high places use those carnal ones to try to attack you. They will never prevail against you. It says the gates of hell. Hell can't conquer you. The gates of hell can't prevail against this rock. You, kingdom people, that Jesus Christ has built his church upon. You. Hold on, I ain't finished. Then he say, and I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Shut the door. Turn the boat lock. Nah, don't do that. But kingdom people, I just heard, now open the doors. Whomsoever will, let them come. Because when you do, when you receive that revelatory knowledge and understanding, you internalize it. You begin to embody the Christ. And then he says, and I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Kingdom people, y'all got the keys to the kingdom of heaven. Many of you. If you don't, you gaining them. Why? You have received Jesus the Christ. You have the revelatory knowledge, and they just some, oh yeah, Jesus. You know what you know, what you know, what you know. You have received them. You have, I keep hearing internalized it, which means when you internalize something, you take it personal as your all, which is again why you embody the Christ. He built his rock upon you. Upon you, the one who truly receives him and has, I keep hearing, and has internalized him. Again, which is why you embody him. You are the one that he's building his church upon. You the rock. You are Jesus's rock now that he built his church upon. Just like he said, Jesus himself said about Peter. You receive just like Peter. You know who Jesus is just like Peter. I keep hearing you internalize him just like Jesus. Kingdom people. Hell can't prevail against you. Hell can't conquer you. Going back to that superhero. What always happens? Do the superheroes ever really die? No. You know why? Because they can't. Again, metaphorically speaking, this is just allegorical for what we're stating, where it pertains to this matter with Jesus, where it concerns us and him building his church upon us, his rock. Kingdom people, you have the keys. He has given you the keys to the kingdom of heaven. I done lost my page. I done threw my notebook. He says, I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. So when you let him build his rock upon you, because you received him like that, I keep hearing you internalize him, you embody him. You are now holding the kingdom of heaven, the keys to the kingdom of heaven. Kingdom people, that's why when they cut you, you just rise higher. You hold the keys to the kingdom of heaven. The gates of hell can't prevail against you. Hell can't, all of hell, say all of the powers of hell can't conquer you. can't conquer it. They ain't nothing they can do with you, which is why no matter what they do, I'm reminding of Neo in the Matrix. Remember how he first was running? That's what you'll be doing at first. You'll be running. You'll be running because you ducking and dodging because something trying to get you, something trying to hurt you. And so you trying to get away. But at some point, you just like, because you realize the gates of hell can't prevail against you. You already know, but when you rise into that power, into the truth of who you are now, because you hold the keys to the kingdom of heaven, you just like, that don't mean don't protect yourself. That don't mean don't move around and not be among places and people that you're not supposed to be. It just means you know it can't touch you. And you ain't necessarily got to run no more and duck and dodge, which don't mean don't do it. But what I'm saying is, just like in Neo in the movie The Matrix, at the end of the first movie, remember how, you know, first he was doing this when them bullets was coming. He was dodging them bullets, but he came to a place where he was just like, you know what? Them bullets came at him and he did this. And the bullets stopped. That's you, kingdom people. The gates of hell can't prevail against you. All the powers of darkness, all the powers of hell cannot conquer you because you hold the keys to the kingdom of heaven. Kingdom people, what did them bullets do when Neo put his hand up? They fell. That's what the people, the carnal people, that spiritual wickedness in high places use to come against you. That's what they do. They fall. And you come to a place where you don't have to do nothing. Okay, they cannot conquer you. They try to cut you. They cut you. They came at you. But all you do is rise higher. Kingdom people, they cannot conquer you. The gates of hell cannot prevail against you. All the powers of hell cannot conquer you. Kingdom people. Now, I'm going back to the Matrix. I don't know. This just being on me. And it's so funny because Sunday, I think that was Sunday, I watched the latest movie, The Matrix, The Resurrection. I don't have anything to say about that yet. I'm still processing some things that I've seen there. I might have to watch it a couple of more times to get more revelation. Not to say I'm going to necessarily speak on it, but I speak on this so much because that is such a real depiction. Again, remember, it is metaphorically or allegorical somewhat to what we experience with God. And so at the end, towards the end, when Neo decided, listen, ain't nobody got time for this. What did he do? He charged towards one of the agents, Agent Smith, and literally went in his body. And what happened to it? He exploded, so to speak. Kingdom people, if you was to come at any of these people, just go towards them, they would. You know why, kingdom people? Because upon you, Jesus has built his church. Upon you, the rock, kingdom people, Jesus has built his church, and the gates of hell cannot prevail against you. All the powers of hell cannot conquer you. Kingdom people, understand. Please understand what I'm saying. Kingdom people, they try to cut you, and you rose higher. Kingdom people, you now hold the keys to the kingdom of heaven. Ain't nothing they could do with you, kingdom people. All you're going to do is rise higher and higher. Trust and believe. Hear me when I say this. Some of y'all already know because y'all know what I'm talking about. You experiencing it. And even if you in this season, that's okay. Just keep on coming. I'm telling you, all those things will level out. It will balance out. I assure you, mark my words, kingdom people. If you are kingdom people, listen, you can take me at my word. I'm just saying. That's just how sure I am about this thing. Kingdom people, they tried to cut you, but all you do is rise higher. All you did was rise higher. Okay? Okay. Kingdom people, I am going to let that rest right there. If you like this video and know if it resonates with you, please just go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Then click on that subscribe button right next to that. No, click on the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. Thank you, kingdom people. Then click on that bell right next to that red subscribe button so that you can get a notification every time I upload a new video, something like this one. Kingdom people, if you are interested in any of the services that I presently offer, if you are interested in purchasing something from my merch store, If you are interested in sowing a seed into me and my ministry and supporting the channel, you can find all the information right down below in the description box. Also, join my membership. I do have a membership, level 1, level 2, level 3. Now, level 1 is for the kingdom people, of course. Level 2 just brings you into the kingdom transformers. Not that you're not already that, but y'all get how this go. Level 3 is the kingdom royals. Take a look at that to see what all those levels entail. And yeah, kingdom people. So, we are history makers. We are world changers. We are dream successors. We are wealth generators. We are manifestors. We are curse breakers. And we most definitely are transformers. More than meets the eye. Yeah, kingdom people. We are. Kingdom people, I love you all so very much. I really do appreciate you being here with me, spending this time. You all know I don't want to leave you, but I do have to go right now. But I will be back to hold my kingdom people down. Now, with that being said, much love, light, and peace, and many blessings to you all. Kingdom people, that is my time. Yeah, Jesus girl got to go. She got to go. She's out. Peace.